Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Thea 2 The Shattering, where I have been trying to figure out what to make our Javelins out of. I did a little bit of work here off camera, and I think I've come to a decision. We're going to look at the crafting menu and go through the options, but first I wanted to note 18.2 perception on Tomko, 18 perception even on Trothvine. We're going to be looking at a lot of multipliers. In a second here, it is important to know what we are multiplying. So my first thought was, I like Shield Leech, I like True Strike. What if we just do that? What if we just do an advanced version of each of those things? So, Obsidian and Mithril. Pretty easy to make. Mithril would be a double refine from the only type of metal that we have in gathering range of the city, but there's a silver deposit only like a few tiles south, so we could just go gather silver and refine that directly into Mithril, instead of gathering iron and then refining that into silver to then refine into Mithril. So that produces a pretty good weapon. It's heavy at 167, but our both of our Javelin users are strong enough to wield it in combination with their armor and stuff. And it gives us the True Strike, it gives us the Shield Leech, and it gives us a 1.0 modifier, or a 1.0 multiplier on the first strike and a 1.3 on the weapon attack, which is a reasonable upgrade over the weapons that we're currently using. You can see we're both on 0.8 and 1.0. But then I thought, you know, it would be really nice if we could get those damage numbers even higher, right? Like, by far, the most important thing about these Javelins is the multiplier on the first strike, right? It is worth noting, I guess, that these have a 9.5 second delay on their attack, which will be added to our character's wielding delay, plus the delay from what round of combat he's played in. So this is a pretty slow weapon. I mean, as is to be expected. It's made of very heavy material. So then I thought, okay, well, how do we get that number up? We know that there is a type of essence that has a flat additive damage bonus. Could we just use some of that? It turns out the additive damage bonus is linked to leather essence, and there is no leather slot in the Javelin creation. However, we can use composite materials to make golem leather, which is both metal and leather, thus fits into a metal slot, but because it has more leather essence than metal essence, the leather essence overrides, and you get a weapon that has the Shield Leech from the stone, plus 3 points of free damage on the attack, and 3.9 points of free damage on... 3 points of free damage on the first strike, and 3.9 points of free damage on the attack. I did two versions of this, one with quartz and one with clay, just because I was curious how much of a difference the improved resource tag would make, and it's considerable. You can see this is only 74 pounds, and it has a 7.6 second delay, whereas the clay version, which would certainly be easier for us to use since we have a source of clay right near the town, has like 40 extra pounds on it and also 1.2 more seconds on the delay. It's not bad. It's like a pretty powerful weapon. It requires a lot of refining, though, and in order to make golem leather, we would first have to make mythical leather and mithril, and then the golem leather. If all of the advanced resources worked the way that spike leather worked for us in the previous game, we'd have to be doing 5 mythical leather and 5 mithril to produce, I think it's 2 golem leather. So that's a lot of advancement points in total. We currently only have 4, with a lot of progress toward the 5th. So we're looking at that, we're looking 1, 5, 8 advancement points. It's just like, that's a high cost to pay, right? But it's a high cost to pay for like a pretty good weapon. Then I thought, okay, well, if we can use composite materials to cheat essence bonuses onto the weapon that it can't normally have, what other essence bonuses might that give us access to? And it turns out Enchanted Bone works much the same way, where it's bone and gem, but because the gem essence is greater in amount than the bone essence, you get the gem bonus instead. And so if we combine that with obsidian, which again is, we're talking about a lot of advancement points here, and a lot of crafting, lets us drive that modifier number, the multipliers, up a little bit. So you end up seeing a 1.1 multiplier on the first strike, with area effect. So since it's a ranged weapon, it adds vertical splash. Anytime we could hit 2 targets, we'd be, first of all, dealing a ton of damage, and secondly, generating an awful lot of shield. That's pretty compelling, I think. Unfortunately, this weapon costs a million coal and advancement points to build, but it's pretty neat. Then I thought, okay, well, if we're talking about doing a double refine, if I've consigned myself to checking out what we can get off of a double refine, what if we do it in a more straightforward way? What if we look at pure stone? So pure stone is another double refine, but it's a little bit more straightforward because it's all one material. We would just go clay into obsidian into pure, unadulterated stone power. And that produces the pure javelin. The pure javelin is the heaviest of our options, but I checked, both of our javelin users are strong enough to wield this weapon. It's also very slow, but it does have the highest multipliers of anything we've looked at. 1.7 times on the weapon attack is really something. That's a lot of damage. And remember, 50% of it comes back as shield. Like, this is a cool weapon. And because we're using 100% yellow essence, it's usable in yellow challenges. Unfortunately, in yellow challenges it scales off of wisdom rather than perception. If we go look at our characters who are likely to use it, Tomko has terrible wisdom. He also has outmaneuver. So in yellow challenges, he's just going to outmaneuver. There's no situation... Well, I shouldn't say no situation. There are very few situations in which we would want to use the javelins over this. Basically, it would just have to be the case that outmaneuver was too slow to deal damage before an enemy, but the enemy was low enough on health that the first strike damage from the javelin attack would kill them, right? But like it's meaningful that you have that first strike ability available in yellow challenges. On Trothvine, it's a lot more interesting because wisdom is actually his highest stat, and it's very high. He does already have showing off. So he has a good yellow challenge skill that comes out quickly, it has a pretty significant debuff on it, and while it's scaling off of his weaker stat, it is scaling very powerfully. 1.9 multiplier as opposed to the 1.7. But I think there's an argument to be made here that we might well want to use, especially given how high the first strike damage, we might well want to use the javelins instead of showing off with Trothvine in yellow challenges some of the time. Of course, a lot of the time we'll be wanting to use the corrupted blood ability, or sacrificial blood, rather. But it's at least interesting. And it's worth noting that this is only 5 total advancement points, so we're almost there already. And like, these are javelins that are good enough that they probably will last us the game. Now, one thing that I didn't actually look at that we probably ought to is if we do this thing, we can make a legendary weapon. Now, the benefit there is that Blue Shield Leech returns 100% of the damage dealt as shield, as opposed to the 50% from Green Shield Leech. That's definitely interesting. But I have to think that the most important part of these javelins is the amount of damage they deal with first strike, right? Because we're trying to negate the enemy's ability to deal damage to us at all. I think I want to try to do this. It's going to be very expensive. There's a lot of refining, and unfortunately, we don't actually have the clay in gathering range, so we're going to have to do like crews running out to grab clay and then ferry it home. But I think that's what I want to do. I think it's powerful enough to be worth the effort. Now, the effort might be boring. I might take some of it off camera here. But let's go ahead and figure out the other 10 research points necessary to get that advancement. If we put our best people on a bit of research, we can gain 1 research point per turn pretty easily. So let's say we use you and you and you for this. That leaves us with pretty good gathering to go up and get clay. And we're like extremely good on combustibles and also food. So we need Trothvine. Let me see here. Yeah, we can send both of the professional gatherers, and Bogdan can't go, unfortunately. Actually, that's reason enough for this to be Bogdan, right? So both the gatherers and the hunter. And go out and let's... What am I doing? Just grab food. Just some food. Alright, and we need to make sure we take wood so that we're not gathering at half efficiency. We probably don't even need that much food. And... yeah, we can pull this fur gathering tool from Kreha because she does not currently need it. And then bounce that over to this party. Because I think we have... yes, we do have an empty equipment slot here. You can see with the blood jewelry, his carry limit is high enough that dropping the sandstone javelins and picking up the pure stone ones, he stays underneath the limit. Oh, and we got an event of some kind. A singular patch of thundering clouds, moving fast. Hey, it turns out it's one of these guys. Let's... I don't know, killing him was not great loot. Let's fix his teeth. Okay, he grabbed some stuff for us. I mean, he gave us some jewelry. We are very, very desperate for jewelry, so I guess that was a win. Alright, clay. Oh, it turns out there's only 2 gathering slots in this clay anyway. We didn't need to bring the hunter. Well, whatever. The smart thing to do would be to have the hunter go back to town, right? I think I'm going to take perception because it gives more gathering. Yeah, Widowmaker's not going to get involved in combat all that often. I don't think the wits is necessary. Let's have Tomko go back to town. Actually, it turns out... and he can just help gather fish or something. I don't know. Yeah, there's not really anything in particular that we need here. Tomko can help gather grain. We're actually not super high on grain. Discover the remains of an old settlement. Find the scattered remains of an old Orcish settlement. In the old days, the clans were mostly nomadic, so this is a rare find. It seems entirely abandoned. There's a very small amount of wood. I have to imagine that we're missing some options here due to not having something. There's no way that's all of the, there's no way that was the whole extent of that event, right? So we're just going to chill here until this is done. Bloodseeker, I suppose, could take Reliable Argument. That's a reasonable thing for you to have. If we get another Orc Child, I think we definitely just go for the Warrior path. If it is offered to us. Find a small abandoned house. Most of it has collapsed. Okay, red concept challenges are easy. Super, like, if that was a purple concept challenge, we totally would have gained a point of mysticism or destiny on somebody. Pretty bummed out about how uneven those things are. Okay, that is enough research for now. So let's go ahead and pick up the recipes here. Just make sure that we understand the magnitude of the situation. If I wanted to make some of this, we are talking 10 obsidian makes 2. And we're going to need 10 clay to make 2 obsidian. So we're talking about just a huge amount of clay here. How much stone, how much pure stone do we actually need? 78. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, cooking composites is what I want. Let's put those recipes on the docket. I need to make this happen some number of times, and then I need to make this happen some number of times. And by some number of times, I mean 39 times. Each one of these produces 2. Okay, so that's just going to be a, you know, a mild, easy to gather 390 obsidian. And we're producing 2 obsidian with each of these, so all we need here is total brain fart 195 of the 195 of this recipe. You can't type that in, huh? Okay. I'll just put it on infinite. Infinite's good. So we need, 1950 clay, if I didn't do some bad math there somewhere. And we're gathering it 13 at a time. Well, there is more than one clay deposit. It's possible I'm over-preparing. Keep in mind, I'm not trying to build javelins here, the javelins that we will need to defeat the Red Ridge Bandits. I'm trying to build the javelins that will mean we don't have to build more javelins later. Right? Like, this is... I'm going relatively hard on this. I might just go ahead and take us off camera for some of this. Did I remember to? No, I didn't. Let's make sure that we are gathering other stuff. Actually, you know what? We probably have some cooking that we need to do. Yeah, we got a bunch more meat, so we can cook up some more grilled meat. We need some more fish salad. I know it seems a little bit silly to just, like, sit in place for 100 turns, which is actually what it's going to end up being. Yeah, maybe I'm overcommitting here. Javelins made of pure obsidian just aren't... They're nowhere close in effectiveness. Okay, that's probably enough cooking those particular foods here. We made as much grilled meat as we could make pretty much right away. That is probably enough fish salad that we never have to think about fish salad again. Which is good, because after cooking that much of it, I bet you would never want to think about it again. And then we can... Let's see, you're gathering grain. We can just grab more. I'm sure we're going to need more enchanted leather at some point. We probably have enough dark wood. But we don't really have anything else to gather. I mean, fish are light and reasonably valuable compared to... iron's pretty valuable too. 3 times the value at only 2.5 times the weight. But if we're talking about pulling resources for trade value, we pull advanced resources, right? So what we're probably going to end up doing here is taking periodic breaks to run back to town and deliver. A sudden gust of wind heralds the coming of a dirt storm. We push our way through here. Yeah, okay, I thought I remembered that giving some strength. Unfortunately, a point of strength on Bogdan is, like, basically 0 value. Absolutely get mysticism on you. Okay, some turns we get 26. So what are we looking at right now? In the time we've been sitting here, we've gathered 300 already, actually. You know what? We're pretty good gatherers. We can get this done. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording, and I will come back when we have the amount needed, but it looks like it's not going to be quite as long as I was afraid of. See you in a second. Okay, we don't have anywhere near the amount of clay that I said we would have, but I thought this was worth catching on camera. Either love knows no bounds, or there is something really wrong with this stork. But your unliving friend got really friendly with someone, and the stork decided to deliver an offspring into their care. So Kryha got up on Bogdan in a way that has left him deathly ill for a couple of turns, and an unliving corpse was born. I mean, it's another pair of hands to help around the village. Hold on, we gotta have a look at our new friend here. Yeah, sure, who wouldn't want to get down with that? Okay, he's missing some important parts. He just came out like that, did he? Huh. Well, I mean, he has 9 strength. Do you have any, like, cool abilities? He's unliving, so he has that small amount of shield self. He has headbutt. Headbutt's cool. Okay. I don't know. That's a real weird thing, but I'm glad he's here. He doesn't even get a name. Okay, I'm gonna go back to gathering now. Again, see you in a second. Alright, we're back and we have enough clay now to start building our obsidian, our big stockpile of obsidian. What we do not have is enough coal. I was hoping that during the time it took us to mine the clay, I could have groups run around and gather enough coal from the surrounding settlements, but unfortunately they do not restock their coal supply as quickly as I was hoping they would. So we ended up with only 149 of the nearly 250 coal that we're going to need. So unfortunately, we're probably going to have some people take an expedition up to the ice territory to see if we can find some coal up there. Because I think we saw coal on all of the other islands in the game that we won, didn't we? We definitely saw it on some of them, at least. So yeah, I think that's where we're headed. We should be able to do this next part, I think, without the fancy javelins. So, we're going to take... Who wants to come with us? You can see I named our undead friend. It seemed wrong for him not to have a name, and he just looks like a John, doesn't he? So, if we're going to send a group of people... Sorry, I want this view for a second. We're going to send a group of people out to go adventuring in search of coal. We definitely want to send, like, Trothvine and Tomko. I guess John can go with them. And maybe Kryha? That leaves Bloodseeker and Bogdan and Widowmaker in charge of the camp, which should be good enough. Unless some really terrifying Lightbringers show up or something. Like, Bloodseeker is actually pretty good at physical combat. Widowmaker is actually pretty good at yellow and purple combat. I mean, not amazing. Maybe Kryha stays behind? No, without Kryha, this team doesn't really have that much purple ability. Okay, so I built us a boat. Built us a standard darkwood sailboat of the kind, exactly the kind which you have seen before. Actually, hold on. Before we do that, as you can see, gained a lot of items just from events occurring. Let's have a quick look through our jewelry. Oh, well, may as well throw that on you. Then we have a little bit of defensive jewelry. I also got this thing. This is like a pretty wild piece of jewelry. I guess we should put it on Tomko? Right, he doesn't need the extra carrying capacity right at this moment, certainly. And then we have... Is it still the case that we have, like, one piece of jewelry that has shielding on it? It totally is. Well... We could put it on Kryha, I guess? Since she can't wear armor, helps shore her stuff up a little bit. Not that she's terribly weak. Yeah, okay. And actually, Bogdan just has an open hand. We should definitely give him our finest shield. Here, this'll do. Alright, so I found Kryha a slightly better book, like very slightly better. And then John has 9.5 red shielding. We definitely have better armor than that now. Really found like a lot of the same stuff. So we have a huge number of amber robes for some reason. This is multicolored shielding. Wow. Those are robes made of golem leather. Where'd I get those? Those are pretty good, actually. It's not better than our dragon heavy armor, but like these can be John's. And then, what are you wearing? You're wearing 10.7. I think that might actually be the next best piece of armor we have. Nope, we have some masterwork ruby robes. We also have this leather medium armor, which... Nope, you have your thing. Okay. So we don't have a ton of great strength weapons, actually, for John. You know what? Does it make sense to swap him to this one-handed axe with a shield? Maybe. It doesn't have that first strike damage, but it does do a considerable amount of damage on hit, and it's pretty fast. His wits aren't super high. But like this plus a shield would actually make him pretty tough overall. And you know what, he's reasonably tough, as it is. Let's leave him with the polearm, because again, first strike damage rules everything around me. He has a lot of purple health. I'm just looking, does he actually have a purple attack? He totally doesn't. He can brute force for like 2.7. Well, alright, we don't want to play him into a purple challenge. I mean, he could at least absorb damage in a purple challenge. Okay, so now that I'm more or less confident, I mean, we should throw stuff on people. Increased personal carry limit doesn't do anything for Trothvine. John's nowhere near his carry limit either. But he could have, like, access to Lullaby. This gives him something to do in purple challenges. Okay, I'm fairly confident that those are the moves. Oh, I mess with people's pets for the purpose of ferrying loot around. Yeah, Bloodseeker probably doesn't need the carrier goat anymore, although she also doesn't really benefit from any of these other pets, I guess. A dog increasing perception does make her a better gatherer. As you can see, we're gaining undead left and right. They're just sprouting out of the ground here. We have so many spiders. Bunch of boars. Yeah, I think I'm reasonably happy with how the pets are distributed. It's a shame that the animals won't go anywhere near the undead. Alright, so let's go Trothvine, Tomko, Pryha. And then the question is, do we leave John Corpsington to guard the village, or do we take him with us? We're definitely going to need the boat. We're definitely going to need many days' worth of food. As a party, we have a pretty good carrying capacity. And we also have an impressive amount of gathering skill between the three of us. So I'm sure we can forage and everything. I would like to bring him with us, but I'm worried that the town won't do too well in his absence. I guess he's really just doubling up on Bloodseeker's role. But he's not, like, the party doesn't need him for combat. Yeah, I'll just have it be these three. Do we really only have 3 movement? Doesn't Trothvine have his horse? 6.8. Oh, you know what? I might have moved them back from gathering clay this turn, so that might be part of it. Alright, well, let's just get to the ocean. Obviously, we're a lot faster in the ship. Okay, and we're producing a small amount of obsidian. I mean, we may as well run this until we run out of coal. Ooh, 2 points of strength versus 1 point of perception. That's legitimately interesting. You can see I did take a strength up on him already. What's his carry limit right now? 475 without the lifting charm. I actually think the 2 points of strength I took on him already were good enough. Let's grab more perception. Keep scaling those attacks. Especially since we actually have a pretty good modifier to work with. Okay. I don't remember what I'm looking for. Alright, we haven't dealt with the Red Ridgers. Go to the Icelands. There you will find your next task. Okay, just go to the Icelands. It's pretty broad. The waters are calm. You hear a faint yet alluring song carried on the waves. Alright, well, we have a magic user with us. Several sea demons surround your boat and circle as they sing. Once upon a time, we might have fought this enchantment. Now we will fight the demons. You kill the sea demons and loot their fishy bodies. Upon examine, they were likely the Zytlica, which are fat, half-fish, half-human females, known to drag their victims to their deep underworld lairs. Okay, that actually is... Oh, hey, look! Pure stone. Neat. That might actually be a better book. Let's see. It is, in fact, just straight up better. It does not have Detached Spirit. It instead has Ice Spike, which I think I actually like better. Yep, that's just a considerable improvement. So what we are most looking for here, I think there's hard to argue that John takes anything other than strength. What we're most looking for here is coal, right? Okay, there's some malachite. I do not remember if we saw coal on this landmass or not last time. So we'll just sail around the coast for a little while. We're not in any big hurry to actually make landfall. And I probably am over-preparing. I bet that I'm over-preparing for stuff, because it actually was not that difficult to finish the game last time. I'm going to go ahead and get on land so that we can get up on these hills and have a little look inland. We've arrived in the Icelands, the forever frozen pastures, etc. We know all about this. You may find diamonds, and also nuts here. Like these ones. Hold on a second. Why on earth are you making fish salad? Did I tell you to do that? I don't think I told her to do that. Why don't you just gather fish? I don't even know what to do with you. Dark wood? Shame there's no way to make coal. Boy, there are a lot of gems out here. So we just run around until they decide that we've run around enough, right? You see before you the ruins of an old city, covered in ice, so clear it almost looks like glass. An old sign hangs at the gate. Ye who come here desire not the treasures within. Turn away, for thy souls will be at peril. There are classically foreboding humanoid skulls scattered around too. Well, that's not going to work on us, we just think those are cool. Is this the encounter that we had on the Ice Plains with the last character? Because I'm assuming so, since there's a skip story option. I honestly don't remember it. You enter the ruins and find them surprisingly warm. The ice you previously spotted is indeed more like glass, as it is hard and slippery, but not wet or as cold as you'd expect it to be. You also spot a glimmer of light coming from the remains of a tower. Well, we're probably not set up for a difficulty 9 combat challenge. You enter a large chamber that was surely a great hall once, or perhaps a ballroom. There are frozen chandeliers, tables set up with silverware, granite floors, and ornate columns. There are also mirrors and paintings on the walls. But the mirrors are shattered, and the paintings are torn where the king's face should be. A golden throne is submerged in the odd glass, and atop it sits a lone figure turned away from you. This does not seem familiar to me. The person turns to you. He is a withered husk of a once great man, wearing a crooked golden crown and a metal mask over his face. His voice is loud and harsh. I smell the life force on you. It sickens me to the bones. Have you come to admire my kingdom or praise my greatness? No? Well, you are too late. It is all gone. No, we said no, though, so that's not... Okay. Hey, buddy, why are you just sitting here alone? I sit here because I am bound by this glass prison, doomed by those idiotic gods that could not stand my greatness. Let's see. I think we'd probably do chafe at their constant meddling. He should probably not call Triglav idiotic. But also, it would be cool if maybe the gods would kind of just let me do what I want to do. Ah, yes, you know my pain then. It is they who made me like this, you know. I was a king, a great one, too great for them as I renounced their deeds and pushed mankind. But they got angry and cursed me. I was powerful, so they made my kingdom fall. I was loved, so they made my people betray me. And I was beautiful, so they carved out my face and attached it to a demon. That's screwed up, man. That is a terrible fate indeed. I mean, this absolutely sounds like the gods, right? Yes, not that I require the validation of mere minions, for I am a king. You know what kings usually do is just sit around all day shouting over and over again about how they're the king. Since you empathize with my predicament, will you attempt to free me from these bonds? Why should I? Here's the thing, empathize is maybe too strong. I suppose I do sense in you an annoying essence of power. You may be just the minions I need to get rid of this wretched curse. If you do, all that lies here under the glass ice will be yours. That's very interesting. I'll agree, we could still betray him later. Good. As I said, my magnificent visage was placed upon the disfigured body of a lowly demon to mock me. I believe that once you retrieve my face, I will be whole, and will break free of this curse. I have marked the creature's lair for you. Okay, I'll be back with your face. So that'll be the creature's lair. I don't know that we're gonna necessarily be able to do the thing that he needs us to do here. I still have people doing research. I still have Bogdan doing research. Obviously, you can see I've made some advancements. I didn't really know what else to do with our time. Like, food and wood and stuff were not urgent. Alright, do we want to just go straight into interacting with this? Ah, you find the place where you are supposed to find Perun's rod. It is a large mound with what looks like a tail. With what looks like a tall, overgrown tree with no branches, and oddly there is no ice or snow here. This could be the rod you are searching for. Well, let's scrape it off and see. It takes a while to remove the debris built up over decades, or perhaps much longer. But when you step back, you see that the mound is shaped like a giant stone hand, and it does hold a lightning rod. We could try to remove it foolishly, naively, or we can rely on our dwarf knowledge here. Examine the site carefully. Well, this must be the hand of a giant. These ancient shepherds of the earth keep this land alive with their life song, even as they now slumber. There was a time during the awakening when giants returned. Perhaps this one fell to its sleep slowly and thus was able to safeguard the rod for Perun. Or he could have been made to hold this rod by magic, by whomever wanted it trapped. In any case, one must be very careful when dealing with giants, even sleeping ones. Okay, let us whisper to the stone and ask the giant to let it go. We're both stonekin here. We're all rock friends. The old giant listens to your whispers and heeds your plea. The hand opens, and you safely remove the rod from the stone hand and feel the ground tremble, but the rod is free and the tremors pass. Whoa. You hold up the rod, the skies crack open and fire bright lightning that blinds you. A thundering voice booms at you. Finally, the seal is broken. It is time for the young gods to remember and for their chosen to grow. Now bow before my power and accept the divine gift. Okay, I mean, you know how we do. We're not even really followers of Triglav, we're just followers of the Turmoil domain. The power of Turmoil lies in its unexpected nature, the ever-changing conflict of light and darkness. As such, you are marked as Demon, a creature equally steeped in chaos. Good! You are becoming more like yourself. So we've gained a bunch of destiny, and also... Okay, Energy Disturb is a cool skill. Ask who you should speak to. I am the voice of Perun, the father of the skies. I am here to tell you what your next steps will be. Whom do you serve, child? We really haven't been following Triglav specifically. I mean, there's been a lot of smiting going on, but it's pretty much just been me screaming turmoil as we run at people with our weapons drawn. So, let's slow roll that Triglav thing. Ask why he has abandoned the pantheon. The skies cannot remain still. The thunder does not linger. We were needed, so we left. The skies, the earth, and the underworld, the power of three as one, to hold the earth in our grasp and allow our children to stand strong. I was made divine to stand for light, and thus my power was needed to keep it at bay. But you will know all once your divine memory is restored. Now, whom do you serve, child? Us dropping Triglav's name should be like a big deal, right? Triglav's a big deal? Interesting. The unstoppable wrath of the pantheon. A force of nature drawn from the depths of Earth's fire to face the other core that slept near it. You must travel into the volcanic lands, made so by your very birth. Or, should I say, the birth of your god, I forget myself. Good luck to you, chosen of the fire. The voice fades, and when your eyesight is restored, the giant hand holds the rod again. Okay. To the volcanic lands with us. But hey, now I'm a demon dwarf. So it's not looking great for us as far as... Aha, never mind. Spoke too soon. I found all the coal. Alright, we don't need a ton of coal. I'm going to grab this really quickly while she starts working on that. And now we can swap those. Okay, we found more diamonds. Oh, our unliving friend Krya is she's a little frisky. Well, we've created another unliving corpse. Boy, she is non-stop. We've had one birth outside of her births. She's already been twice as productive as the entire rest of our civilization. obviously. I mean, he really looks like a John, don't you think? And we don't really... Sorry, use this book. I know this is not really appropriate to your skill set. Don't worry, we'll find you a sword or something eventually. So how much coal do we actually need? We need to make 330 more obsidian, so we need this recipe to run 165 more times. So we need 42 coal for this, plus 39 coal for that. So we're going to be here for a minute, basically. Yeah, it's unfortunate. We can't really gather it any faster. What we could do, though, is move over slightly so we can at least be gathering... we don't need basic leather, though. Also, why is this still marked? Oh, the glass... Right, I didn't actually interact with that. I was thinking that was where we got the Rod of Perun. But yeah, that would be why, because I didn't bother to actually interact with it. Well, I'm gonna focus on gathering coal for a minute. A thick, sickly fog has descended upon the village. Oh no. Hay fever. Or sorry, a heavy fever. I was gonna say hay fever is miserable. A heavy fever is probably worse. Alright, well, we'll just use... Ooh, wow. The fevered folk weaken by the hour. Their flesh seems to slowly rot away before your eyes. Well, we use our intelligence to fight the fever. Okay. Would be cool if we had, like, a proper healer or something. So where are we at? 28? Yeah, it's gonna be a minute. Oh, you know what? Our researcher back in town is not working on the correct project. Not that we really need the advancement points, but at this point, these advancement points are probably more likely to be used for... They're more likely to be... The main value of them is the god points that we're getting from them. Smaller John Corpsington has gotten down with Trothvine as well. I think Trothvine's just way into the undead. That's wild that is happening. I mean, hey, we figured out how to get more hands on deck, right? We have like an army of the undead now. And we've got warriors. They're all strong, they're all melee weapon guys. One of your people has been acting odd. Yep, let's find out if this is a Manoviek. It turns out it was. Killed the blob with fire. Uh-oh. The purple smoke proves toxic. Well, that's not ideal. Is that 9 damage per turn for 4 turns? Okay, their health is high enough. It's actually, like, pretty scary to Widowmaker. I mean, she's going to be gaining HP every turn as well. But, that's pretty scary. A group of goblins runs in your direction. They look scared, and it seems they're mostly elders or young ones. Still, a few are armed. Oh, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? They comply, but one keeps looking behind them nervously. One of them speaks. You'll not kill us, right? We only want to go. We find a new place, we swear. Just let us go. Buddy, what is going on with you? Oh, sorry. You just look a little like them. I think it's an elf, but it may be a thin human. Who? The Goblin Killer, man! I kid you not, it isn't a mere name. That dude, or lady, they come and they kill and kill and kill. They murdered our village whole, and then went for the little ones, spouting that they will only grow to become like any of us. Do you know why they attacked you? I think we did this quest before, maybe. Well, it's really weird. They keep saying we animals, we destroyed their farm and raped all the women. I mean, sure, we like a bit of big folk lovin', but we don't raid and rape. They must take us for orcs or something. Buddy, you should watch your mouth. Wait, we don't have an orc with us? I imagine if we had an orc with us, we'd have an orc option for responding to that. So this Goblin Killer is hunting them now. Yes, and he comes with friends often. They're very bad. I do not know who harmed their family, but it wasn't my kin, I swear. We should probably try to figure out if he's telling the truth. So, Perception, Intelligence, Goblin, or Luck unlocks this option. Difficulty 5, Yellow Concept Challenge, we should be able to do. Yeah, okay. The most recent Unliving Corpse has become much more intelligent from this. You see the Goblin sweating and averting eye contact with you. Others look equally uncomfortable. He's lying for sure. Alright, buddy, you got one chance to tell me what is actually happening here. Oh, okay, fine. It was our boys that did it, we think. I mean, our village was doing bad. Crops died, spirits did not help. Those boys, they say they go find us stuff. And they did, and we did not ask where. But we did know. Maybe not all of it, but how else would they get so much? The raping, though, we really didn't know that. Those boys, they dead now, proper dead. We did not go, we did not kill. Our children, they good, please. Well... Tell them you will take their children to safety, but the rest should stand and pay the price for their crimes. That's interesting in that it might mean we get goblin children. It's probably the case that they'll just be like, no, we're not doing that. We're going to make a go of it together. I wonder. I'm wondering both what is the most valuable outcome here, and also what is the thing that fits best with our turmoily path. I kind of want to tell them that they're, like, on their own. You live by the turmoil, you die by the turmoil, but we'll take their kids in because their kids are innocent. I'm going to do that. Let's see what happens when you do that. Take our children? Never! We will fight, and we may die, but we will do it together. If you see us as guilty, then at least let us be. We will try to run. If I see you as guilty, why should I let you be? That's my question. I mean, maybe we just attack them? Now that I've closed off the other options here, let them run probably doesn't get us a lot of value. Yeah, let's just fight them. Difficulty 6? We can do difficulty 6. Victory with serious injuries. Maybe I don't want to push it here? I kind of feel like we should be able to do better than that, though, right? I'm going to push it. Maybe this is unwise. So lower the combat and attributes of all enemies standing on the battlefield. Sorry, is this something that happens when she's played or when she's already on the table? I'm going to assume from the way it's worded, standing on the battlefield, it means that it happens when she's played, so we actually want to play her late? Let's see here. The smaller John Corpsington is nothing to write home about. This guy at least has headbutt. But I sort of want to delay a little bit. Maybe we just play one of Kryha onto the table just to see. And getting her established quickly could be really important. Okay, so it affects the units in their hand anyway. Okay, I mean, they're pretty healthy. What is 60? Okay. 60 is pretty good. So his first strike hits for 17, his first strike hits for 14. This guy's gonna do 30 damage on his attack. I'm thinking we play Tomko. Man, sneak attack does a lot of damage. It's really slow, but both of his attacks are really slow. And first strike is an attribute of the card, not of this attack. So we would still get it on sneak attack, right? Maybe we do just want to play this. But should we have somebody... Basically, my question is, should we have somebody stand in front of her, or maybe should we just play her again? Because getting her ability off twice quickly at the beginning of battle is like a huge amount of damage. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just play her again. Ouch, I have been first stricken. Okay, I mean, they have a considerable number of people who do real, actual damage here. Definitely a little concerning. And it's tough to know exactly what the outcome of these attacks is going to be. We have 4 points left. I definitely want to use one of them to do sacrificial blood. Probably on this guy. And then we might use 2 more of them to do sacrificial blood again. I think I want to pass turn here. Okay, that's what I was hoping for, that they would play a second copy of that dude. So let's blow him up. And then Sacrificial Blood again would do 42. Like, the boar is by far the most dangerous thing here. So maybe we... I could Poison Throwing Dagger and play you in front of the boar, just to absorb the damage. We'd still get 17 points of first strike. That would bring him down to 47, which is a shame. I feel like that's probably the right thing to do. That's a lot less damage than the other options, I guess. No, it's really hard to turn down 42 damage. Yeah, I'm just going to play him, I don't know, here, I guess. Let's try to absorb some of the damage off of that guy. And then we will play Trothvine a second time to kill you. Not to kill you, but to severely weaken you. So he's low enough now that... Okay, he's low enough now that that works. We're very powerful. Yeah, him. All those levels of sneak attack really did pay off. I was a little down on them on account of the extreme slowness of the attack, but it's not bad. You kill the goblins and gather their loot. Fur robes. What is this? Goblin wine. Gobbo wine is known to send you into the ghost world. There's likely shrooms in it. Well, I can verify that it is in fact made entirely of berries and a mysterious red powder. Okay, turns out the Spirit Talkers did not care for that one. What are we doing on stuff here? Okay, little ways to go. We could, I suppose, spend an advancement point on diamonds and be gathering diamonds this whole time. Or 2 advancement points, rather. The thing is, that would have been a good thing to do originally. At this point, the gathering skill of the people who are not currently gathering is low enough that I don't know that we would actually get even a single load of diamonds before we left. And I don't know that we really want a small amount of diamonds. So I'm assuming that's from their, that was given to us by the Goblin Killer quest. Alright, how are we doing on healing? Okay, he's back to full already. Pretty good. Let's stay put for another turn or two. That's definitely enough, right? 100? Yes, that is more than we need. So maybe let's have a quick look into these points of interest that have spawned. You come across an armed group of fighters. There's a human wearing a helmet, a tall hooded orc with a bone wand, a Zerka, an elf, and a dwarf. The human has goblin heads on his belt, so this must be the crazed goblin killer you were told about. They look you up and down, but do not speak. Speak quickly. Did you see a band of the green scum running this way? Yes, I did, and I killed the hell out of them. Oh, disappointing for me, but dead is dead. Good. One of the others continues. The little shits raped and killed their dear sister. Been tracking them for years. Wow, years, really? I did not get the impression that that was the timescale we were talking about. Sneaky buggers. None deserve to live. That tribe, they worship some dark deity. Want darkness to come back so humans lose again. The warrior in the helmet spits, and the others nod solemnly. Okay. Yeah, alright. In that case, I did a good deed, right? I'm desperate for validation, apparently? Or we could ask for a reward. Let's not go begging. The warrior nods and hands you their weapon. Yes. He then hands you a cage with an animal inside. He handed me a cage that contains a bear? How big is this dude? The priest lets out a sigh and speaks up. You're not getting more words out of that one. We thank you. Your deed was good. But be well, and stay wary of the greenskins. Okay, so we were supposed to get a weapon, and also a cage with an animal inside. We got stiffed on the weapon thing, but we did get a whole entire bear. Unfortunately, right, none of the undead can have a bear. Well, here, you can have some armor. The smallest possible. Wow, they really will just let me type as much as I want here. Nope, okay, found the character limit. I will come up with a name for this guy. Later. Let's head back in the direction of this event, and then we're gonna head home. You're ambushed by bandits. Your goods are your lives. Yeah, that's not... You did not think this through all the way. We got some basic garbage. Yeah, wow. Really, really not great. Among other things, you find a treasure map. Okay, I'm down for treasure map. Well, we may as well make camp for a turn. It's summer! I am now done with all of my important gathering, so it's now time for gathering to yield extra XP. Alright, strength on you. The smaller Don Corpsington has the option of taking War Shout, which scales with stats that he doesn't really have. But, I mean, it'll give him something to do, I guess, in non-red challenges. Or we could just level up his line charge. You know what? Line charge is pretty good. And that other skill seems quite weak. Hold on, are we back in full health? Because I'm thinking this challenge seems like it could be a little difficult. Find an old graveyard engulfed by low-hanging black mist. It does not seem dangerous now, but you know this could change at any moment. This is where the Glass King said a demon wearing his face resides. As you move between the gravestones, you notice a young boy skulking in the mist, watching you. The boy has wolf's fur on his back, oddly long fingers, and crooked legs. It could be a demon. You also spot under the fur a terrifyingly beautiful male face, staring at you with a nasty grin. Alright, we're not just going to run screaming at it. If we're going to kill it, we want it to come a little closer first. We're very devoted to turmoil, but we're not stupid. Let's ask it to come out and talk. Why should I talk to you, eh? You look boring. And I have friends, so you best keep away. If you come near me, my back face will eat you, yeah. Okay. Listen, I just wanted to ask you about that back face. Where does a thing like that come from? It lives on my back, and the shadows say that if I try to take it off or leave here, I'll die. Well, here's the question. How much do we actually want to free the Glass King? He seems like, a terrifying monster, probably. My guess is a terrifying monster. But this demon kid also kind of a terrifying monster, and a king is in a position to reward me for stuff. I think most of the time, my instinct would be like, hey, I'm not killing the demon child. But we're doing things kind of outside of my normal decision-making structure here, this game. So let's go ahead and attack and try to take the face. The child shrieks and the black mist rises, revealing a Mroki. Which one is the... I'm guessing that's the Mroki? It's only a difficulty 6 challenge. Easy. And hey, pretty good rewards. Wow! A pure stone battle axe. That is a lovely weapon. Okay, so... we should take the whole body back to the Glass King, right? He can take the face off himself. You leave the cemetery and the glass ruins appear before you. The king stands in the threshold this time and watches you, then looks down at the bloody face you carry. You got it! Good! Hand it over and my curse will be broken, and we shall all get what we are owed. Well, that's very ominously worded. Fortunately, we're almost in perfect health, so we can definitely take him. Hand over the body. What? What is this? No, no, my son, no! He was no demon. I always told myself it was a trick, but it is not. It is him. Man, listen, you didn't tell me whether the boy was a child or demon. What does that matter? Both were lives that would be taken for the king's gain and yours. I think this seems like a callous way of asking for a reward that is likely to not get us a reward. Listen, man, what's done is done. At least you're free. I said so, yes, but I did not mean this. There's a lot of question marks where they don't belong in the dialogues in this quest. The glass turns black and trembles, and the king takes his son's body into his hands, cradling the boy in despair. Okay, we just try to leave quietly, I guess. You back away and leave this cursed city. The black glass around you becomes unstable in many places, so you're able to collect some goods. We've gained the research material Unbalanced Shadow Elf. Hey, we're gonna end the game with like a lot of points of advancement points here, which is a nice thing. You see before you some young saplings of elven wood. However, as you look up at the tree crowns, you see several bird-like figures sleeping, huddled together in a circle. Tiny swirls of wind dance around them, so you believe they must be the Villi, wind demonettes, and often forest guardians. It is said that the bodies of dead Villi turn into dryad wood, which is a thing I don't actually care about. Or we could just sneak past them and steal the elven wood, which is better wood, but still I don't really care about it. I mean, this is the better wood. We should be able to do either of those things trivially. Yeah. Red concept challenges, man. It's not, like... At least when you do a red combat challenge, you usually get a reward of some kind. Let's see where this treasure map takes us, and then that'll probably be a good place to end the episode. Actually, we probably should have ended the episode quite a while ago, but you know how things are. You know how things get. Oh hey, the flickering of light and a fluctuation of mystical power. Well, you know how we do this. Through our domain, I feel the dark spirit reaching out. He does love the turmoil. Obviously, we aid him, which we can do because our ghost is incredibly good at purple stuff. Okay. As you explore, you notice long-dead humanoid remains scattered all over the place. They look larger than human, possibly orcish. Well, I think that Trothvine has a great respect for the orcs. You know, he grew up with Widowmaker, and they probably have like a pretty close personal connection. So let's bury the bodies out of respect. You bury the bodies according to your custom, but alas, the air is heavy with the unrest of the spirits, and your own souls feel burdened by it. Yeah, that's annoying. Continue searching the ruins. Before you can take your treasure, you hear an orc warrior bellowing at you. We claim this ruin as our turf, as marked by our fallen kin. Man, I wish Widowmaker was here to negotiate. Okay, keep listening. Best not to further enrage an already angry orc. But I tell you what, you showed respect to the dead, even though you buried them instead of burning. So help us dig them out and make funeral pyres, and you can keep half the loot. Oh. Well, that's very reasonable of you. Sure, yeah, I'll help undo the thing I done. You help dig out the bodies and make proper funeral pyres in accordance with orc custom. I feel like Trothvine should have known about that. The orcs appreciate your aid and add some medals as reward before they bid you farewell. Okay, oh, that's not very good loot, but alright, I'll take it. Treasure map, huh? Get a real loose approximation of the value of treasure. Oh, dude, apparently enchanted leather comes from giant frogs. I don't think that's a thing we knew. Alright, well, we know that we can't just talk to the ice demons. I am kind of curious, though, if we approach the ice demons. Okay, the only option we have for fighting them is a difficulty 8 purple. I was going to say, if it's, like, even up to a 7 red, I'd probably just have at them, right? Like, we could just destroy the village, since they're not going to provide us with any other kind of value. But I'm already falling into that one more turn thing here. This is probably where I should stop, or I'm never going to. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when we finally build our extremely nice javelins, we finally kill those Red Ridge bastards, and then we try to find a use for all these advancement points, I guess. And we'll see you then.